Hi, my name's Daleen. I'm so grateful you're here. Thanks for coming back. Oh, first of all, thank you so much for all the comments, and I have 25 new friends, and so I love that. And oh, your comments were so kind and made me blush a little bit, and they were so encouraging and happy and fun, and I just knew it. I just knew there were some great people out there, and I could make new friends. So I really appreciate you leaving a comment so we could get to know each other. And um, when I was a little girl, I used to keep this box under my bed, and um, I would make Valentines for each of my friends, and it would be months before Valentine's Day, but I would work on them with doilies and buttons and ribbons and glue and scissors, and I would keep all this. I would keep a list on the lid of all my friends, their names, and I would try to make Valentines for each person and think about my friends, and I'd be like, oh, I'm so lucky, I have 7 friends. And so I decided to write down all your names, and I put them in a box, and so every time I go in my sewing room, I can look in that box, like, if I feel like sad, or no, I don't know anybody that cross stitches. I don't know anyone that does anything handwork or sewing or whatever. I can open my box and look inside there. So thanks a lot. I really appreciate it. It's really fun. So welcome back. Come on in. Come on in. You can have come on in, and we can have coffee and cookies. And yes, I can bake. And I was a part owner in a catering company for a few years, and then I just now last month ended a 14-year business I owned a dog treat gourmet dog biscuit company. So yes, I can bake. So there'll be lots of Christmas cookies and coffee and hot cocoa, cider, and all of my stuff is over here this time because I'm not in my sewing room. So you can sit here on the sofa or some chairs and relax, and we can have show and tell, and I'll show you my stuff, and then I'll turn the channel on and watch you share your stuff. So it'll be good. It'll be good. Okay, so I had a couple questions. First of all, my name. My name is Daleen. My dad's name was Dale. My mom's middle name is Lee, so they fused them together and came up with my name, Daleen. I have 2 sisters, Colleen and Jolene, and so sometimes when we weren't being the best little girls, they would have to run through the list of names to see who they wanted to point out that wasn't being a proper young lady. So sometimes I didn't listen because they weren't saying my name. Anyway, and the other thing was the quilts. I got a lot of people that said they would like to see some of my quilts. So I don't know if I'll do it every single video, but that's why I decided that I would shoot the video. Sounds like a movie person. Film this video in the library today so that you could see this quilt. Okay, so this quilt is called Winter Pines, and I actually found the pattern. It was $2.95 in 1991, and I made this quilt in 1996, and I collected all of the green fabrics. I bought one every time I went to a fabric store for years. I don't know, 2 or 3 years, I would collect a green piece of fabric, and a couple of them I traded with other quilters. They were looking for a blue or a pink or what have you, and we would trade fabric so that I could get that. We didn't have those packages they have now where you can buy a whole stack of green fabric and done, and you just make the quilt. So part of the chase, that was fun for me. So anyway, this is the first quilt that I made when we moved back to America. We lived in Europe. My husband was stationed there, and so when he got his last duty station was here in Washington State. So, and I was born here, so I call this quilt Washington my home. I machine pieced it and I hand quilted it, and then in the borders you can see the pine cone fabric. It's heavily hand quilted with these ribbons and pine cones, and you can't see a darn thing. So every single quilt I learned something new, and that particular one, not to spend so much time heavily quilting in a border that you can't actually see unless you turn it over and look at the back. So anyway, it hangs here, and it's a wonderful room. It has lots and lots of books and maps and baskets and bins of of rocks and sea glass and shells and feathers, and there's a big table where you can put out the map books or big huge books. It has a beautiful window, lots of light. On the ceiling there's this compass. It's a vinyl piece of compass, and when Mr. Wright put it up, there was a few choice words, shall we say, when he was on the ladder upside down. He said he wasn't Michelangelo, and I don't think Michelangelo would have put a sticker on the ceiling. But anyway, it's beautiful, and I love it when you come in here and you can see it, and it makes the whole room. So anyway, welcome. Please come in, sit down. I'll pour you a cup of coffee or hot cocoa or cider and give you some Christmas cookies. Yes, I can bake. I was a part owner in a catering company for a few years, and then I owned my own business up until last month of a gourmet dog biscuit company. So for 14 years, I've been baking cookies for dogs. So when I make Christmas cookies for people, it's a pleasure, and it's quick, and it's fun, and so I have all kinds of them. So come in, sit down, relax, enjoy. All my stuff is over here, so you can sit over there, or sit on the sofa, sit on the chairs, relax. We can do show and tell. So I'll be the sharer this time, and then I'll sit and turn around over there, sit down on the sofa, and watch your video, and you can share your things. So it's perfect partnership. I love it. It's good. Okay, so previous finishes. I brought two things that I pulled out of the Christmas box when we were pulling out Christmas decorations. So the first one that I'm going to share is Winter Greens by Little House Needleworks. It's on 32 count linen. I don't know what kind, and I don't really know what year I stitched this. It was probably 4 or 5 years ago. And the star and the ribbon are done in the glitter metallic thread. And that was before I watched FlossTube and learned about Petite Treasure Braid. Because these I kind of remember having to cut the thread to 6 inches, and it was awkward and bent and got knotted up, and it was very frustrating. So anyway, that was fun. It was happy when you pull it out of the box. You're really happy when you see it come out of the Christmas box. You kind of miss it, and you don't get to see it that much. So, and then the second one I want to share. Oh, let's see. How's that? Is that okay? Is that pretty good? Anyway, it's a sampler. It's my first sampler that I used beads. So the snowflakes are with little beads, and it says, "I will honor Christmas in my heart and try to keep it all year." I stitched this on an airplane trip, and the businessman next to me said to me, "Are you colorblind? And do you mind me asking, are you colorblind?" And I said, "No, I don't think so." And I said, "Why do you ask?" And he said, "Well, your trees look like they're blue, not green." And I said, "Oh, thank you." Why do I say thank you to those things? That's ridiculous. Okay, it's hip, it's fashionable, it's teal, aqua, cool colors, and I still like it. Why do people have to be stink bugs? Why? Why do they be stink bugs? Why can't you be a lightning bug? It's way better to be a lightning bug. Anyway, here I am, 14 years later, still thinking of that guy. But I still like this. When it came out of the box, I was smiling. I was so happy to see it again. It made me happy. Yay! That's a good thing. Okay, so works in progress. I'm still working on Coffee Saves Lives, and you all know what that one looks like. There we go. Heartstrings Sampler, Beth Twist, and last time I showed it, I had just met up the corners. So we've added a tree and a house. I had to take a bird out to get the tree to fit. I'll put it back in. Stitch some more letters, and I ran out of thread. You can see, how do we have so much thread? I have 4 or 5 boxes of thread. How do we run out of a certain color? I don't understand that. Anyway, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to stitch. I'm stitching it on 28 count. I love stitching samplers. It's so relaxing and calming, and I'll get this camera thing right. Sorry about that. It's it's enjoyable. You know what's going to happen. You kind of get in the rhythm and kind of get into a pattern. Although Beth has left out a few stitches here and there, so you kind of have to keep your eye on the pattern. But it's a beautiful piece. It's fun. It's relaxing. It's sort of funny. It's good. It's good. I really enjoy it. I would highly recommend it to anybody that would like to do that. The other thing that I'm working on, I'm starting today. I just have this piece of Picture This Plus feldspar left over, just a scrap. And I am starting another soul bird. This is a very dark pattern. Sorry, I don't know if you can see it. It's called Soul Birds by Lottie Da. I've made this 6 times already. So they end up being little pin cushions, and unfortunately, a childhood friend, we went to school together, kindergarten through our senior year. Her husband just passed away. And so I thought, when I take over some cookies for Christmas, I thought I would also take a little soul bird. So his name was Mark. I'll put his initial and one of the birds and some men's buttons, and she's not quite ready to cut any of his shirts yet, so I'm just going to use a plaid on the background and let her know if she wants me to sew a piece of his clothing onto it. I certainly will do that. I always sew a little bell on, and in my card I always say, if you stumble across this in a drawer or hanging on a doorknob or a dresser knob and you hear that little bell, I hope it reminds you of something good and happy, a wonderful memory to kind of boost your spirit just for a slight moment. I know it won't fix anything. Oh Lord, I know it won't fix anything. But it'll give me something to hand her while I hand her the cookies. It'll give us something to talk about, and it'll make me feel good that I could do something. I know it won't fix anything, but anyway, I hope it'll be a pleasure to stitch. I hope that she someday enjoys that. So anyway, yeah, I would highly recommend that pattern. I've used it 6 times. I used it once for someone's birthday and just did their initials. I added different beads and fun buttons and a happier version, obviously, but yes, it's wonderful. You could use it many times, so that's a good one. It's really a good one. Okay, let's see, finishes. Okay, let's see. I have some hats. First of all, I want to show you. Okay, so I'm packing up the Christmas packages to mail. So I wanted to show you these hats that I made. Okay, I crocheted this little fox hat for my grandson Cooper. It's really cute. And then I made a raccoon hat with a little bit of dog hair on it for my grandson Hunter. And then I made this owl hat for my little granddaughter Adelaide. She loves owls, so I knew that this would be the perfect one for her. And then our oldest granddaughter Zoe, I thought she might like this alpaca hat. It made me giggle when I made it. So those are all being wrapped up today to be mailed tomorrow. So everything's going in the mail. But I wanted to hold those out so I could share them with you. Okay, the other thing that I fully finished, this pattern is from Homespun Elegance, and it's called Avery's Cycling Santa. And I think I mentioned before, my husband collects Santas, and we like to bike ride, so I thought it would be a really fun one to make him for his birthday. His birthday's next week, so I made this little ornament, and I put the 2018 on the bottom. It's just stuffed with fiber fill, so it can, and then this piece can come off if you don't want to hang it as an ornament, and then you can just use it like in a little bowl, a basket or what have you for decoration. So I thought that would be a fun one. It went together really fast. It was only like 2 or 3 days, so it's a quick one that if you need to make something for somebody, I highly suggest it. It's really fun and happy. It's a good one. Okay, I finished the Jingle All the Way by Brenda Gervais, and I told you if I got it on the box I would show it to you. So now remember, her pattern was stitched on 40 count And I stitched mine on 28 count. I don't really remember why, but anyway. So it turns out much bigger than the box she suggests. So I ordered this box from Factory Direct Crafts, and it was just a paper mache, one of the brown craft paper kind of paper mache box. Okay, so I lined it with just some beautiful red fabric, decoupage the fabric. I put the bottom. I put a piece of felt on the bottom so it won't scratch the table. I painted it green. I sanded it down. I borrowed some shoe polish from Mr. Wright's shoe polish kit. It said brown or tan. I just rubbed it all over it. Okay, and then the top, I used some cotton batting underneath here and put it on a round. I made this trim around the edge. This is that Lady Dot Creates, the real soft right between there. And it had to add some jingle bells because it's called Jingle All the Way. Okay, let me tell you about these pleats. This is just fabric that I have. Can you see it up close? How about up close? There you go. All right. Plain fabric. You just cut it whatever width you want. 1.5 inches, 2 inches, what have you. You fold it in half lengthwise. Okay, so those pleats are called fork pleats. Here's the fabric. I just wanted to show you. So it's long piece of fabric, and as you have it under your sewing machine, you stick the tine of the fork, the bottom tine, into the fabric, and you twist it up, pull the fork out, and continue sewing. Okay, and there's lots of YouTube videos on this. Seriously, it's like 1 minute to learn it. I'm a visual learner, so obviously that's why I went there. But okay, so your fabric is just laid flat on the sewing machine. You stick the fork in, you roll it over, take the fork out, and continue sewing. So each one of these pleats is as wide as whatever fork you choose. Anyway, you can make it as long as you want, and then I just hot glued it on the back. Actually, I hot glued it to the lid and then put my piece on top of that. So it's a great way to make your own pleated fabric. We have all these scraps of fabric. You might as well do it. So anyway, so yeah, I'm going to put that in here with his collection of Santas, and he can store the smaller Santas or the stacking Santas inside this box. So anyway, I'll put the information in the description box of the Factory Direct Crafts. I'm pretty sure that's the name of it. So anyway, it's a good one. And you should try those pleats. It's super easy, and everyone thinks you're, fancy schmancy that you know how to make these pleats. It's adorable. It's cute. It's fun. I use this homespun, but you can use whatever fabric you want. And it turns out so even and perfect. It's like you're a professional seamstress. Yeah, try it. It's wonderful. You will love it. Totally love it. Okay, I got some goodies in the mail. I told you last time if it came, I would show it to you. So remember, this is the sampler I'm going to do for New Year's Start. It's called Silent Sampler, Rosewood Manor. And I ordered these silk threads, this packet from Sublime Stitching, and I'll put her website in the description box as well, so that maybe you might want to order them too. She has different colors, but anyway, they are 5 meters long, and there's 6 of them in this package, and I think it was $22. I forgot to look that up. Sorry, Charlie. I think it was $20. It could have been 22. Okay, anyway. They're beautiful silk threads, and I just thought that I could use them for the different flowers on this pattern. It's going to be so pretty. I still have to pick out some fabric, which that's a fun thing. That's not a bad thing. It's just I think I'm close to picking out which one I want, so that's a good thing. Okay, I tried to tie my hair back so it wouldn't be an issue, and then I'm touching my hair and it's an issue. Sorry. Not really sorry. I like my hair. It's just sometimes it's more joyful than others, so I kind of have to calm it down a little bit. Okay. Oh, I got this other thing. It is not cross-stitch related. It's quilting related, but I found this pattern, Penguin Party by Elizabeth Hartman. If you ever find a pattern by Elizabeth Hartman, oh, she is a good designer. Solid, Pieces fit beautifully. It's not fussy. It's not tricky. It's just goes together really well. And I thought it'd be fun to collect those gingham plaid, buffalo plaid. I thought it made me laugh. It's funny. It's good. Okay, so I sit at home and I drink a cup of coffee and I shop on different quilting sites or what have you, and cross stitch sites. And anyway, when I found this pattern, then I drove a half a mile past my house to this really great quilting shop called the Quilt Barn. And she's a real nice gal. Anyway, I like sitting looking through the patterns, but I'd like to spend my money in my own small town so that the money stays with a small shopkeeper. I love that. Unfortunately, I don't have an LNS here, so I don't have a needle shop that I can do that with. But so I order all my things online. But anyway, that pattern made me laugh, so I had to run over there and buy my pattern. That was a good one. The other thing I got in the mail was, the other goodie was called Vintage Animals by Jeanette Douglas. And I love this wonky letters, sampler, animals. I think that's in my future for this coming year. I think that'll be a good one. So I ordered it from Shakespeare's Peddler, Kitten Stitcher, Teresa. Oh, golly Wally, isn't she the nicest? Oh, I love listening to her. She's so kind and smart. Oh, she's so intelligent. And I just love looking at her things, and she's so inspiring. And I love that magazine that's online, because I kind of miss having cross-stitch magazines. So, oh, it's wonderful. She's a really nice stitcher. It's so good. So anyway, I bought this from her shop, and I got some little safety pins last time. So yeah, she has a lot of things to choose from. I would highly recommend it. You could definitely spend some money there. Pour your cup of coffee and spend your money there. Okay, let's see. Let's talk about what I'm grateful for. What am I grateful for this week? Well, okay, one of the things that I'm really grateful for is I found this recipe for oils for your fingers and cuticles and rough fingers, rough hands. With all of our stitching and touching fabric and sometimes touching silk thread, oh, it just snags on my hands. So I know we all just want to put on some lotion right before we stitch, but that sort of helps a little bit. You know, it's like practicing the piano. You soak your hands in warm water for a couple minutes before you start playing, and you know, magically all your arthritis goes away for a few minutes, and your fingers are flying, but it doesn't last. And so that's like the hand lotion. It doesn't really last. So you kind of have to take care of your hands every single day so that we can do this hobby with pleasure and not be frustrated. So I do put this oil on in the morning, every morning. Once a week, I soak my fingers in warm whole milk. Okay, I know, and it works. It works. But anyway, I wrote the recipe down on my blog so that I could share it with you. So I will put the name of my blog and the address so that you could go there and get the recipe for the oil that I use on my fingers every morning. It really does help. Smells good. It's wonderful. Let's see, what else am I? Ooh, pickles. I'm so grateful that I made refrigerator pickles a couple of months ago, and I had one right before I did this video because I was like, oh, I really want to have one of those pickles. They're so good, so good. So I'm really grateful that I did that. I'm really grateful for my rebounder. I rebound every single day. Keeps my lymphatic system going and gets my heart rate up. And who doesn't want to use a trampoline inside their house? It's like so fun, and you're just like happy and listening to music or singing, and it's a good thing. It lifts my spirits and helps my health and wellness, and I love it. I'm grateful for my rebounder. Okay, so let's talk about the one thing I feel like I'm going to be like a commercial lady. This is what you should buy. I'm not kidding. It's Wax Orchard's fudge sauce. You can warm it up and pour it on whatever you want to pour it on, ice cream or angel food cake, or you could just take a spoon and dip into it. It's delicious. It smells amazing. It's only $7. They have a website. So, oh, I can still smell it. It smells really good. Okay. About 6 years ago, I make it a practice not to eat sugar. Once in a while I do, but I kind of miss treats. Hot fudge. Who doesn't miss hot fudge? Okay, this is going to make your life so much better and happier. Put Mrs. Claus, hello, fill this, put this in Mr. Claus's stocking. I'm not kidding you. You will get a big old smooch. It is wonderful. It costs $7. Buy this for the old senior citizen lady across the street from you. And she'll say, oh, honey, I can't have sugar. I can't do that. Oh, yes, you can. I'm going to read you the ingredients. Pineapple concentrate, pear concentrate, cocoa powder, vanilla. I'm done. I read you the whole recipe, the whole ingredients. It's made here in Washington. It's so good. I think they have a peppermint flavor. They have a chocolate flavor. They have syrup. They have, I kind of want to open it again and smell it. Okay, that's rude. I'm sorry. You know I've got a fork here. I could dip in the fork. This end right here would work out perfectly. I could do that. Okay, I won't. Until I turn the camera off, and then I might do it, because it smells so good. Okay, anyway. This is the answer to filling up the toe of that stocking. Yes, it is. I'll put the link to the website down below in the description box. So, anyway, I have a lot of things to be grateful for. I'm super happy to come back here and make another video. Thanks so much for all your encouragement, and I'm really glad I have new friends, stitchy friends. I'm glad you could come over and have a cup of coffee and a delicious cookie. Christmas cookies, aren't those the best? You just want to eat one and then have a different variety, have one of those. And a different variety, have one of those. So, anyway, thanks for hanging out with me today. I had a good time. I'm glad you came over. I'm still nervous, but not quite as nervous. So, anyway, thanks. Thanks for leaving those comments. It's been great. So, anyway, I'll see you next time. Happy stitching. Bye.